Welcome, I'm Kinetic Symphony. This is Dave. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the supernatural. Case file number 1927, written by RadioactiveEJ. Emotional Gaze in the Exhibits Maze. I work in a popular museum in the UK, which requires me to roam around specific attractions and talk about the history and genuinely make sure all the visitors are safe. However, I had a very strange moment with a pair of visitors. As they entered the area I was in, they did not stop looking at me, even though they had audio guides for the exhibit. There was no real reason for them to make as much eye contact with me as they did. I myself am 25. And I just presume they must have a question that they're working out how to ask. So I went over to them and said hello. They were very friendly back with me, but the smiles they gave were super emotional. It honestly felt like they weren't listening to what I was saying, but just me talking. I can't put it into words, but it was very intense. They seemed very happy to just listen to me, but their facial expressions did not change when I was speaking. It was just very over-emotional. I managed to tell them about the exhibit, give them some information, but their eyes, in both of them, were beginning to tear up. I genuinely thought they must be going through something, and they're being polite, and that they're just hearing me out. But here's the kicker. After talking to them for about 5 minutes, every time I went to leave, they'd ask a random question and again continue just listening, whilst also being very melancholic with me. I started to feel a bit off, but my break was coming up, so I said goodbye and began to leave. This is where both of them thanked me, and then also thanked me by my name. Then they both left. They didn't even look around the exhibit properly, they just moved on, teary-eyed. Now here's the thing, I don't introduce myself with my name at work. We don't share each other's names. And yes, we have name tags, but I haven't ever put mine on, as I don't like people knowing my name. I like that boundary. To this day, I have no clue why they were both emotional and how they both knew my name. They left briskly, and they both looked like they were about to cry. I have until this moment never given anything a thought, but this is a genuinely unexplainable situation. I have never met them in my life. I know all my relatives. I just can't put it into words, the constant feel of sadness and bittersweet that was given off by them as they sort of spoke to me. Now I also know I have not given them my name, my colleagues haven't, and I wear nothing with my name on, so that's the part that made me think, what can this interaction be? Who were they? Case file 1927. Emotional Gaze in the Exhibits Maze. The first possibility is these are your children from the future, coming back in time. And it seems like it's a deliberate attempt. They knew who you were, they knew why they were there, to see you specifically. Now, the other possibility is not a glitch at all, but simply your real parents. Maybe you're adopted and were never told. And these are your real parents who found out where you worked, who you really were now, which you're not supposed to be able to do, but I'm sure there's ways to find out that information if you give up your child for adoption. I'm sure it happens here and there. But they didn't want to tell you that, so they just came to see you, and that's why they were so emotional. That makes a lot of sense. Normally, a lot of these glitches, the mundane theory doesn't really make sense, but in this case, I actually am leaning towards that. Yeah. Case file number 1928, written by Pat's Cutie 81. In the rush of the brew, scissors turn 2. I work for a popular coffee and donut shop chain, and on this particular day, I was really busy serving a lineup of customers at the storefront. We were short-staffed, so I was handling the line all by myself, when I ran out of cream in my cream machine. I didn't have time to go to the back to grab a new bag of cream, so when the baker came out front to stage some new donuts, I asked her if she would run to the fridge and bring me out a new bag of cream, while I continued to serve customers. She brought me the bag of cream, set up the hopper, and put it in the machine for me. All I had to do was cut the hose. So at the front of the house, we only used the lime green colored scissors, and at the back of the house and kitchen, we only used black handled scissors for food prep. There is usually 1 or 2 pairs of the lime green scissors at my station at the storefront. Our countertops are black, so lime green scissors really stand out on them. You can't miss them. Additionally, we keep a very clean and organized counter area, so there really is nothing else on the countertops, except for the machines, cups, lids, stirring spoons, and the scissors. I reach my hand under the brewing stand to grab the scissors, and they aren't there. I check all around the storefront area, anywhere I thought scissors may be, and nothing. So I asked the baker if she wouldn't mind grabbing me a pair of scissors to cut the bag of cream. When she came back, she handed me a pair of black handled scissors. I know this for certain because I immediately thought to myself, these are the wrong scissors for up here. We never use the black ones out front. They're meant for food prep. But because she's a baker and does all the food prep, she automatically grabbed black ones. I didn't mention this at all to her. Being in a hurry and needing that cream open, I thought, screw it. I'm using the black ones and I'll put them in the dishwasher as soon as I have a moment. I get through the line of customers, maybe 4 or 5 minutes have passed, and I start to wipe down and sanitize my counter area. No other staff members have come up front to my area of the store. Everyone else was working drive-thru. As I'm wiping everything down, I discover not 1, but 2 pairs of lime green handled scissors right there underneath the brewing stands. The very first place I had looked for them. And the black scissors were nowhere to be found. I was so confused. I thought that maybe I had misremembered, so I immediately went back to ask the baker what color the scissors were that she brought me. She told me that she had brought me the black-handled scissors. I then asked if she had taken them back and switched them out with the green ones. She said no. She was just as confused as I was. I then went around asking everyone if they had brought 2 pairs of green scissors up front, and they all said they hadn't. So, to summarize, 1 pair of black scissors turned into 2 pairs of bright green scissors, and I still don't know what happened to the black pair. Caissons found 1928. In the rush of the brew, scissors turned too. So I'm just trying to picture lime green covered scissors, the handles. I don't know why, but that's comical to me. Just the color of it, you don't see it much in most instances, besides on limes, obviously. But yeah, we just have a case of duplication, de-rendering, etc., etc. For whatever the catalyst is, items can vanish, and then perhaps because of the developer in the real world trying to correct the issue, but not realizing the color selection was wrong, so they took scissors from a different universe, brought it over here, and that's how they tried to play it off, but they got the color wrong. Maybe something as simple as that. Now time for the joke of the day. Sheepdog says to farmer, I got all 50 sheep in the pen. Farmer says to dog, but I only have 46 sheep. Sheepdog says to farmer, I know, I rounded them up. Another math pun, yay. Kinetic Symphony signing off.